Everybody there?
We're live. It's an intro.
Okay.
Good afternoon. Good morning. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me on the Now Talk Show. I am your host, Dr. Nadine Wong. Today, we have another distinguished gentleman who will be joining us via phone to have a wonderful expression of just his trials, his triumph, and where he is today. This distinguished gentleman, his name is Lorrel Meikle, and he is the founder and the CEO of the Ecotourism Farm, and this is located in Jamaica. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please let us have a warm welcome for Mr. Lorrel Meikle, all the way from Jamaica. Mr. Meikle, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for accepting our invitation. What is the weather like in Jamaica?
It's overcast.
Mhm.
It's a little humid, mainly humid, but we're good. It's just humid.
Okay. So the fact that you're in Jamaica, I am in Toronto, Canada. What
hmm
what can you just what's in season? What can you share with us about Jamaica right now?
What's in season?
Yes.
Mangoes. What has happened with Jamaica? I noticed that we don't really have our seasons seem to have changed. We seem to have a lot of fruits in season right
Okay.
now. Of course, COVID is the number one talk. But
Okay.
other than that, it's we have a lot of fruits. So that's what's in season.
That's what's in season. Okay. I do
Right.
appreciate a good mango, particularly East Indian mango. So it's a pretty good memory of mine. So the fact that you are Jamaican, tell us a bit about who is Lorrel Meikle, who lives in Jamaica at this moment.
All right. Lorrel Meikle. I am a little bit of a complex person who is just seeking truth.
Okay.
Trying to find myself, trying
Hmm.
to find myself, and I recognize that in this journey to finding myself, I I myself have to be truthful. So I have to be truthful about who I am, what I want, and this will always work for me, the truth.
Okay. So,
Right? So my main goal is finding the truth. My thrust is being truthful.
okay. How were you raised with the truth that you have discovered? Tell me a bit about that.
All right, what was I raised? Um, I was born in at the Jubilee, Kingston Jubilee Hospital.
Okay.
Uh, I I was when my father abandoned me as a child.
Okay.
My mother was there. So I grew up without a father, totally without a father. My memories of my father has been nothing but um, pain and hurt. Um, to the point where my only memories of him would be his driving away, looking back, laughing, and driving away. And this abandonment continued through my life. So there was no father, and then there was no subsequent father. So the closest thing I got to a father was a very gentle human being.
Mhm.
He tried to fit in, but he was too gentle of a person,
Okay.
and hence he never he never he never did a good job in raising such an angry child. As I said, he didn't raise me. He was just there, you know. So my mother, what she would do is she would leave me with family members,
Mhm.
And then when they got tired of me, she'd come and get me and move me somewhere else. And anywhere would be fine for her.
Mm-hmm.
So the absenteeism was there where she was concerned. So there was no father and there was no real mother figure. So I started to grow in a very feral way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you.
Yeah, there was no structure. There was no structure, and it's a surprising little thing because there was a constant guiding voice that would tell me the things to do. I mean, I knew right from wrong.
Right.
But there are times I would be in places. I've been in a house where guns are, and I've never touched one.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in a house where drugs are, and I never touched it.
Right. This is as a child, correct?
I was not a good child.
No, I said the question is your observation of drugs and the gun. This you were exposed to this as a child.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said I was a good child. No. Yes, I was. Because I would go off into the bushes and go river and do things like that. But I always came back. It was something that pinned me to the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Not to the truth, but to what is right.
Okay.
All of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a very good sense of what is right. And today I can boast that I've never been searched by a police officer. I've never been arrested, I've never been accosted, I've never been anything like that. And this was the real reason why in getting my green card and migrating to the United States, I came back to Jamaica. Because I bumped upon police who wanted to search me and arrest me, and I decided I was not going to stay there. Understand? So yeah, I think my guiding voice is sufficient to say that is what raised me.
So would you is it fair to say that your guiding voice was God or higher communication by the Spirit of God, or okay, all right.
I could feel the essence of God in this voice. And there are times when I will be led somewhere. I remember riding my motorcycle into Kingston just about 2 months ago. And I was told distinctly not to turn on a road. And when I turned on the road just started to cave in on me. And before I know it, I was in a very dangerous situation, looking down the barrel of guns.
Wow.
And the voice said to me, "Why are you here? Did I not tell you not to come here?"
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So yes, it has been there, and I've learned to listen. I've recognized it. So it is, in my estimation, the Spirit of the Lord.
In truth, you speak about truth and you express a lot. So the truth is your Heavenly Father was the absentee father.
Yes.
Wow. That's continue.
If I may expound on that.
Please do.
This is why we use our past in a positive way, because I remember sitting down and doting on the fact that, I had no father, I had no mother, I had no this, I met in danger and all kind of things. And the Lord listened to me. And when I finished, what came into my spirit was, yes, but nothing has happened to you. Everything just almost happened to you, but nothing has happened to you. So you should be grateful. Mm-hmm. And from that conversation with my inner spirit, I've learned to be thankful, to be grateful, because that is one of the things that the Lord loves. Someone who is grateful. I think it is the single most thing that He would want us to do. Be grateful to Him for what He has done for us.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is, I've been homeless. I've been homeless 5 times in my life. The last time when I was in the States, and I remember once when it happened to me the 3rd time. I was actually living out of my the night I was going to my bed, and I said to myself, "Lord, you really actually going to make this with me again?" And He said to me, "Step out of the van," as clear as day. Step out of the van, and I stepped out. And He said, "Look up," and I looked up, and He said, "What do you see?" And I said, "The sky, the stars." And He said, "As long as you can see the sky and the stars, you're in your Father's house. So stop complaining."
Wow.
I think God hates a complaining man.
Oh yes, He talks about it all the time.
God hates a complaining man. Mm-hmm. And we are made, and this is what the enemy used to emasculate us.
Mm-hmm.
Because the first thing you start to do is feel sorry for yourself. Now, the opposite of that is that we tend to take our feelings and become hardened and calloused with them. That's not the way you go either. You must be honest with yourself. If you're hurting, you must find a solution for the hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And hence, a strong woman, in my estimation, is one who can guide her man. In that, she knows when she must always have a shoulder that he can come and cry on. There's nothing wrong with crying. I thought crying was something that men don't do. I'm not a man.
Mm-hmm.
And women are hardened in such a way. Not all of you guys, just
Thank you for that clarity.
the ones that I've come across. I don't know if I'm hanging out in the wrong spots. It's like, listen, I have my problems, your job is to solve my problem, and my job is to solve my problem.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're made to believe that, okay, go back out and go hunt and come back in and don't worry no crying because and not realizing that when you learn to steer your man in the right direction, you too can move mountains. You understand? When a man recognizes that what his basic function is as a man, which is a provider, a protector, and those two basic functions aren't to be taken lightly, right? You're a provider, you're a protector. It doesn't mean that if my woman is earning more money than me, it makes me any less or any more. Doesn't make me anything other than what it is. And my job is to still steer, right? I set the rules in the house. I ensure that they are carried out, but she actually carries them out. Now, does she have a say? Of course she does. She has a say because she's my guide. She's my guiding light. She's the one who will say to me, Chris, you're raising your voice and the kids are, we don't like it. And then I would have to say, oh, right, this is my home. I can afford for my home to be. You understand? Your kids and your wife is who you come home to. They shouldn't fear you. Right?
Lorrel.
These are the guys who you get up and you go to work for. Understand?
Yes, yeah.
So if your woman understands you well enough and she understands your moods, your attitudes, she should be the single most person that no matter what rage you're in, if she comes and stands beside you and say, Chris, enough. You don't turn on our joke and say, hey, who are you talking to? No. This is the person no matter what, because she's seen something that you are not seeing. And when that trust is there, you have a solid relationship. So what happens is, what I'm seeing, having been married twice, I've been married twice and divorced twice. I have a beautiful daughter who is outside of a marriage, and another little one who's also outside of a marriage. My girls, my kids, I live to ensure that they see a real man. And what does that look like? I'm not a dragon for anybody to be scared of. Right? Right? The basic functions of a man is one who protects and provides and ensures that his house is okay. The running of the house, that's taken care of by the woman. You understand? So once we understand this, and we can, whenever you step out of line as a man, you can look back and say, oh, I wasn't being a man at that point in time. And we tend to confuse aggression with being a man. And it's more, as a matter of fact, more gentleman is. Wisdom is something that you must strive for also. If you're not wise, you can't function as a man. Because your household depends on your wisdom. You are the one who makes, who plans, who makes a decision. The woman is the one who executes. And when you make bad decisions, what happens to your house? You understand? Your house is in chaos. And I believe that the enemy right now is after our men, and that's why we're seeing so much. We're not seeing so much weird women, We're not seeing weird women, We're seeing weird men.
We're not seeing weird women, we're seeing weird men. Can you go deeper? Can you go deeper? Expand on that.
All right. And I speak about Jamaica because that's where I am.
Okay.
I'm seeing these guys walking around with their pants drawn down.
Mm-hmm.
And I make no bones about my feelings about that. I think that is a direct attack of the enemy on the Jamaican man. It is pulling, and when you go to the foundation, the genesis of that, you'll see the feminizing of, if there's such a word, I think that's my word, I'll keep that one. The feminizing of our men. Once you don't have to do much after you destroy the man, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do much after that, As a force, once you get the man to start looking silly, the whole house is a joke. The Bible speaks about it. The Bible speaks about the strong man being tied up.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Once and that's a very I think it's in Matthew if I'm not mistaken. You tie up the strong man, and once you get him tied up, your house is 7 times under where it was before. So I think more effort should be placed in a first of all, a man has to accept his frailties. If you know that you have anger problems, if you know that you have spending problems, I have not seen many women in bars drinking. It's not women go to bars to drink, not in Jamaica. I'm not saying you don't go to another beer. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about sitting in front of one bartender and just drinking one rum after the other and just totally killing your feelings because you feel that you have lost it as a man, and that's what happened.
Yes, you rarely
You are
see
a real
that.
man. Mm-hmm.
You rarely see women drink
Right.
to that extent. You're correct.
No. And I can tell that somebody who drinks, because I drink. I mean, I don't drink and drink, but I drink, and I can tell you whenever I feel like having a drink is when my base starts to go fuzzy, when my emotions start to go off, and I'm stressed, I'm done with work, and I need something to get the edge off. Mm-hmm. Then I'll go and I'll drink. Mm-hmm. I'm saying that you can find yourself just over the edge. With the rest, the other thing is humanizing. Mm-hmm. I believe that there's also a deeper conversation that we need to have, which is one that speaks to the black man. So we're speaking about men now.
Well, this is your platform. This is your platform.
It's going to take more than
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. We can start. That's fine. This is your platform for you to express yourself. So please feel free.
All right. So I say this without any form of reservation. Your house feels a lot for a man. The fact that a male is inside the house doesn't mean that a man is inside of the house. Mm-hmm. There's a chemical change that takes place after the sperm and the eggs. I think it's about a week or so afterwards. Mm-hmm. That changes the sex of the embryo into a man, into male. Mm-hmm. When this happens, it means that I was chosen to be a man. I didn't just drop out of the sky and the sperm made the egg and boom, I came out as another lottery number. I was chosen to be a man, which means I'm a special one. Now, when I don't carry out my functions as a man, which is protecting my family, protecting every child that belongs to me, and by extension, protecting every child that I come in contact with. Mm-hmm. Then I'm not filling my mandate as a man. And I believe that most people go into marriages, they go into relationships to subsidize what they're lacking as a man. I don't want to speak too much about the females because I've never been one. So I can only speak about what I have gone through and my empirical evidence that I've actually experienced and how I've come back to where I am now. Having lived on the streets, having gone through broken marriages, having gone through all of these relationships, I can sit back right now and say that I've learned sufficient to steer myself as a man. So I know that if I don't act like a man, then I'm acting like something else. Okay. The simple little things are: you protect your woman, you protect your children. Your children must come to your feet to gain wisdom, so you have to gather wisdom.
Right.
The time that some of our men take to go running behind skirt tails and running behind more women and getting more women, even two is too much. You would take those resources, because the most expensive thing that you expend on these extra relationships is time.
Right.
So I have an 8-year-old daughter who she takes a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me? And I'm functionally a single parent because I have her 24 hours with me. You understand me? Her mom doesn't have her. I have her. Not many men can say that.
Okay.
Before my daughter was born, I said I have to build her mansion. And I've done so.
Mm-hmm.
So my daughter will not go living in somebody else's house. This is what I consider to be a man. A man makes sure so that things happen. You don't come home. Anybody can make an excuse. I can come home and say, boy, I never make no money today. Or I can go there and make some money. Money might be the wrong thing to use. But an excuse doesn't help. I can't tell my daughter she can't go to school because I failed as a man. Because I got $20 and I split it in two and carry 10 go give some other woman and then come home and find an excuse and give my household. Understand? So we fail as a man, and then when we fail as the man, the family below fail, because what I notice with women and children, they won't fail enough. They are going to find something to make their life work. Whether it be that she go and she find another man or whatever she does. But a woman doesn't fail as easily as we do, because we are not as emotionally strong. I don't believe we are as emotionally strong as a woman, and that's why the woman has to be the one who drives the emotion. You can have an erectile dysfunction if a woman deals with it a certain way. There are men who suffer from that. You understand? I have had it done to me. And I had to pull myself out of that place of demonic behavior. Because this woman was making me believe that I was less than a man. So the key to a functional home is having a sensible man. I shouldn't use the word sensible. It should be a functional man, a man who is functioning as a man. And every man should take a step back and see what it is that he's doing. That goes against the grain of his creator, who has made him into this beautiful creature. Now, as I said before, this is just man in general, but there's something that the black man suffers from, more than, I believe, the white man, and that is you have remnants from slavery that's still here. That same drawdown pants, that same drawdown pants is something that is coming from slavery days. For those who have done their research, you will understand what breaking up is all about. Right. And this is where a man who's taking money, sodomized in front of his family.
Right. It's an intergenerational. It's an intergenerational transfer.
Right. And for the pride with which he carries as a black man, it's alarming. Because we're walking around with a badge saying, "Hey, I'm an idiot." You understand? And then these guys have the prettiest of girls on their arm. You see, one of the things will happen, is that when you find a girl, you find a woman are attracted to, I believe women are attracted to security. I think it's the thing the most important for a woman. And it can be it's security with whatsoever kind of whether it be finances or physical security. But a woman likes security. She likes to know that if she wants something, she can get it. Because I don't think you guys are wired this way. You guys are not wired the same way we are.
No, we're not. We have curves. You don't. Yes.
We're made providers. You guys became providers because men wouldn't do what they were doing. They start back and we found excuses. And you guys were saying, "Hey, I'm not going to sing." And you did exactly what I said. You guys, women and children will always float. Men are the ones who sink. Right?
So may I interject a second? Sure. Regarding the behavioral patterns, you were talking about the comparison to Black men or the now generation and so on. Identify some of the behavior that you see. I mean, you're in Jamaica, so you're bringing the truth from what you see. Highlight some of the behaviors that you've noticed. Apart from the pants being sagged down, what are some of the cognitive behaviors that you actually that is being displayed that literally says that there's no structure, of course, because they're not hearing from God, as you had indicated or introduced, that God has been your father, and he obviously he's structured your life to the point that this passion that you have come with to express, it has shaped you in an excellent man. And that's only what the word of God and God himself can do. So if you could highlight some of the behaviors that you see in your neighborhood.
Okay. Now, the very first thing is this takes place between a man and a woman, right?
Okay.
Once you see all that. The woman is angry at the man, the black woman is angry at the black man, because when his job was to protect her, right? You have this big, strong bulk of a man. Women are usually attracted attracted to stronger, more virile looking, men. And I think the core reason is because they will get protection. So when you have some other person take that away from you by taking her out of your arms, ravaging her, she wasn't protected. They take all of your kids because nothing breaks up a family more than somebody yanking your time out of your hand. Because both the father and the mother is going to bleed. I remember that and I said we because I identify more with my Afrocentric heritage than my Eurocentric. My grandfather was a white man. My grandmother was a black slave-looking woman. I think she came from slave lineage, and so I identify more with my Afrocentric side. But when you come together in that beautiful union and you come as beautiful as a child, and that child is yanked out of your hands and sold to somebody else, and you stand there doing nothing, what do you think is going to happen? That woman is going to turn to you. You are supposed to be the one protecting me. What are you doing? You're doing absolutely nothing. You understand me? So the buffoonery starts from there, right? And then now, when they've done that long enough, the man come in and him rape, who more rape? You didn't protect her. When that don't work, him rape you. No, it don't get much further than there. So it can be traced all the way back. And I'm looking at it and I'm saying, but this is what I'm seeing happening around you. So the black woman is enraged. So as soon as they open their mouth, she shoves it back down. It's true because who you're talking to? You didn't do what you're supposed to do. And then she sweet up on some other person who is just suave and nice, just different. And this is not a race war for me. Right. And I don't want it to go on that because we're having that issue now.
Right.
But that's what I'm talking about.
You're speaking. You're bringing your truth. You're bringing your truth based on your observation, and that's important. Yes.
And the disjoint between the man and the woman, that is where everything takes place. But listen, when you have one person who wholeheartedly loves you, and you can reciprocate such, you too can move any mountain. Because you're talking about two different beings, yin and yang, who is coming together to make one being. No, it's not 50, it's 100. So I would invite the men to spend some time on themselves. Look into yourself. You can't be selfish. I believe that if I strongly believe if I have a Mercedes, a brand new Mercedes Benz parked in my garage, and I have a little old bicycle, and I say this, I don't care who wants to believe or don't believe. I feel that pride to see my woman going on in that Mercedes Benz, I feel that pride to see my daughter going to school in that Mercedes Benz, and I'm okay taking the house. I'm good because these things are big to me. They're not big to me. I have something in me that makes me even wonder if I'm silly. Because I love to love. You understand me? I believe in love. I love. My daughter and I have a relationship where we just cuddle and hug up. And if I were the type of person who makes the work, the day of the work, and all of that get to me, my daughter would not be this close to me. You understand? So I'm saying this is how you need to. The other thing is that we need to express ourselves. We don't express ourselves. We don't speak to each other. And communication is the number one killer. Communication and trust. So when you don't communicate, when you don't come in and say, darling, You know, I don't like when I come home and I see her in those rollers. You know, you're looking like a dragon. That's not what I want to come home to. Then she will say, okay, the reason why I have on the rollers is because X, Y, Z. No, me and the man, I need to give her what she wants to fix the rollers. You understand?
Yes, and for clarity, and Lorrel, for clarity, you're making reference to rollers as in for the hair, right?
We call them rollers in Jamaica. I'm so sorry. Yes. Yes. Right?
Okay.
So she has on that helper looking dress all day.
The house dress. I think it's called a house dress.
It's called a dress. It's called a dress. No. It takes me to another point. No.
Mm-hmm.
It's your emotional strength. When you with the same, I believe that the same you used to get
to keep them. I agree.
No, when you meet someone, I'm a person I don't like. I'm not going to like. There's some things I don't like, and I know to myself changing it as I grow older. Some people say, "Boy, I tolerate it," but what I realize with people is that once the ring goes on the finger, I become a different person.
Mm-hmm.
Now, remember, men are visual, women are more emotional, right? What we see is what we want.
Mm-hmm.
Understand? And if I fell in love with a nice, slim, beautiful girl, and I come home one day and she's 4 times the size she used to be. No, if she has a glandular problem or a hormone problem, then that's different. Because there's a person inside of her that I should really and truly love. And I'm not negating the fact that love is really something that comes from within. But you see, sex is just a part of love. And the part that generates sex, well, love generates sex. Now, if you are a highly visual person and you have changed that much, then you must be affecting something in the man's head. Now, I'm not saying that. Now, the flip side to it is that the man now has to be mature enough to understand that as a woman grows, her body is going to change. She's going to have 16 kids, and so she's not going to look like what she did when she was 18. Right? Her face is going to start. There are going to be things, and you have to be mature about that. But you have to help along the way. Both of you have to help. And when these physical things chip in, and the excitement is no longer there, what you need to do is take yourself away. Both of you, take yourself away as a unit from what's going on around you and disappear in the distance. And rekindle. You have to rekindle, you have to rejuvenate. Mm-hmm. But all of this comes with a level of maturity. And this usually starts with the man, as I said before. Mm-hmm. It usually needs to start with the man. Because you see, he needs to lead. You understand? Mm-hmm. I have a saying, if I can't spoil, I can't be with you. My daughter is spoiled rotten.
Oh my goodness, my cheek hurts. Your words are so warming to the heart. Oh my goodness, my cheek hurt.
And I live this life. I'm telling you, I live this life. I'm saying this, when I envisage what I want for her, that's what I built. Right. You understand me? And this is the type of love. When you have a wife and say, listen, I built this house with I don't have a wife. Yes. There, but I have that image in my head, and I know where I want her. For me, I must have her car parked already. I must have her house built. Because from where I am now, I'm not into making life at this point. I'm at the point where I need to find my wife, put her in the place that I've provided for her, and she run. Now that might sound romantic. It might sound like something that's out of a fairy tale. But it is my reality, and that's what I want. And anybody who knows me from way back when can tell you that I've always been a hopeless romantic. I'm not going to change.
Well, I'm going to tell you that I believe in you. I'm going to tell you that you have a fan club because Nicole is You can't see the comments, but you definitely have a fan club that Nicole is supporting you. High fives, claps, and blowing warm kisses and support. So you definitely have a fan club here on the Now Talk Show. But there's one question that keeps popping up that I want to just I would like you to use this platform just to share as you're teaching and bringing forth the truth. So you've gone through a trial, and clearly only God alone could have brought you out of it. And from that, you've brought some truth, which can only come from the root cause of, having a relationship with God. When you had a failed marriage, you had failed marriages. Um, you had two failed marriages. Now, in that particular point, that was a trial itself, and you overcame that into a place of triumph where you build a home and you're waiting for a wife, meaning that you will marry again, and you have not allowed that experience to cripple, to paralyze the very word of God in you, right? So what can you share with us, in terms of the place that you are now, the place of you've identified the marriage is not working, and now you're going forward. And as you said, when your wife comes, what are you looking for based on the lessons you've learned, the behaviors that were negative? Now, what are you looking for? What God has shared with you as a man of God in terms of um, getting a wife to fill the home that you've already built?
Okay. The very first thing is the person I'm looking at has to come with a level of warmth. You see, a woman who angry, aggressive woman doesn't work with me. I don't like being angry. I don't like being yelled at. I don't like having to defend myself from my woman. And so the very, very first thing is she has to be someone who is genuinely a warm person. A smile for me, a laugh for me is spot on. If you can't laugh at yourself, you can't laugh at almost anything. Then you can't work for me. I use laughter to diffuse a situation, no matter what it is, no matter how costly the situation is. The first thing I do is laugh, because what it does is it gives me a chance to step back and reanalyze what just happened, and then know plot my next move as to where do I go from here. So I walk in through the door and somebody attacks me verbally. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna laugh and look away. Then I'm gonna step back, maybe go back through the door, because I'm not gonna take you on as someone while you're angry. So the very first thing that I look for is someone who's warm. The other thing is, because if you don't have compassion, you won't be able to deal with what I bring, because I bring a lot of compassion. I bring a lot of passion. I'm an excessively passionate person. When I want something, I go after it. And I always say, if you want to know when you want something, let someone hold your head under the water for 15 seconds. You know what want feels like. You understand? So when I want, I get passionate about it. And so if a woman doesn't have passion, if she doesn't have a love for life, if she doesn't have a love for, she doesn't have a passion that I can look and see where her passion is going, because everybody has passion, but it's just what direction their passion is going. Passion isn't for me, for the relationship, because it's me, you, and the relationship. There's three of us involved. And whatever I do, I have to look at how it impacts the relationship. Anything that she does, she has to look at how it impacts the relationship. If she's going to tell me hurtful words, then she don't be about our relationship. She's actually giving me fuel to go through the door. You understand? So there are things that I'm going to be looking for. Of course, you have to be in some form of tune with my children. You know? And the very, very first thing and this just happened to me about 3 years ago. God taught me how to be alone. You have to learn to be by yourself before you can learn to be with someone else. If you don't know how to be by yourself, then that person is going to hold you ransom with every little thing. And one of the things that I suffered from was separation anxiety. So I learned that I'm beautifully made.
Yes,
and
you are.
Nobody can tell me that I'm not. Nobody. Both physically, and I strive to be internally, emotionally. Because if I hurt you, it's my job to come and I'll be the first person to say, listen, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done. I might be sorry, I might be right. But the fact that I hurting you can never ever be cool. It can never ever be good. You understand me? My relationship is a journey. It cannot be, and this is answering the same question the person I'm looking for. She has to understand that our relationship is a journey. It has to grow. Anything that doesn't grow is dead. That's a scientific fact. So our relationship has to grow. The other thing is, God must be able to use our relationship in some size, shape, or form. Right. Would that be that somebody across the road is going to be having problems and they can come and say, all right, speak to this couple, and we invite them in and show them the things that these things are things that are needed. You understand? So if my next marriage has to be something that I can put on a mountain top and it must shine. Because as I said before, I'm passionate, and not only that, I must come boast and say, see my wife here. I'm not looking for anything other than that. If I can't do that, then I'm okay being by myself. I'm not okay. I'm never okay being by myself. Let me not kid myself. You will find that I correct myself every now and then. When I say something stupid, I'll step back and say, no, Chris, that's not really true. I
don't think it's stupid either. I don't think it's stupid either. The fact that you have the wisdom to step back and regroup and reassess, there's nothing stupid about that.
No, man, I'm talking about when I said first that I want to. I'm okay being alone. I'm not an alone person. People are made. People are made to be alone. I'm not one of those.
But the word of God says that it's not good for man to be alone. So when persons choose to, it's their choice. But according to the word, the law of God's word itself, it's His word that we should not be alone. So Lorrel, what would you tell your younger self at this stage in life where you are? You've gone through. Yes, you've gone through some trials, and I know we could talk for hours, but you've given us so much truth, which the root itself, the foundation of your life is the love of God, the love you have for God, and of course God revealing Himself to you. But what would you tell your younger self when you were sleeping in your car, when your dad left, when your mom was leaving you from pillar to post type of, and you were so enraged? What would you tell the younger self where you are right now? How would you comfort your younger self?
When you learn to be by yourself, fixing the little things that need fixing, it's the fear of being alone is a serious one. And once I got over that, all my world became better. So what I would tell myself, learn to be alone. I was never alone. When I say alone, I mean, I started hunting relationships from I got married at a very tender age, 21 years old I got married. I had no business doing that, especially as ill-advised as I was. So I had this yearning to belong to someone that it encapsulated me and basically suffocated me. So I became someone who was very needy, who once I jumped from one relationship, I jumped straight into another. And I was never alone. No, because of how big, I'm a pretty decent looking guy. And I know that. I've known that from I was very young.
Lorrel, I'm confirming you are a handsome. I'm looking at you. You're a handsome gentleman.
Isn't there, sweetheart? I've known this when I was little, but guess what that does is it attracts women to you, especially when you're single. So I've never been given the opportunity to say, guys, just leave me alone, and I just remain single.
Okay.
And that is what I would have told myself at 16 years old. Leave the relationship thing alone and just focus on building me, building my education, building my career, building me as a human being. Ensure, listen, I love my daughter too much to hurt a woman.
Right.
Understand me? So that is something that I would but it's not something that I do. I don't know. I've never been one to believe in keeping 2 women, 3 men. That's not me. But these are the little things. Make sure that you learn to listen. Women love when they listen. Learn to act. Don't make promises. Act. Make sure that people, not just women, but people. So I would work on my integrity, so that when I say I'm going to do something, or when I say something, it is so. That is how it is. You understand me? So people are not second guessing my word. So I would spend a lot more time in getting my word to be as solid as diamond.
That's important. Character is everything.
It is integrity. If you don't have integrity, and that is one of the things also that I would look for in a wife. If you don't have integrity, it's not going to work. So I would tell myself at 16 years old these things. Find me. Be okay being by yourself. And when I say be by yourself, I don't mean not having people around you. I mean,
yes.
Being single. You understand? Because when you're single, you grow. You grow without the attachment of sex, of lust, of all of these distractions, liquor, party. Those things are distractions, and you yourself can grow in the midst of these. You have to separate. You have to go on a sabbatical, on a fast, and really truly get yourself together. That these things don't influence you, or it's gonna be you're gonna be led astray by these things. So that's what I would tell myself, and I know that if I've got these things under control as a 16-year-old, oh Lord, man, I would be way ahead as a human, as a man. Which is what I want to be. I want to be my ultimate goal in life, a wise man. A wise man. Yeah.
I can honestly say, based on the word, the presence of God that is with you, the word of God that is embedded in you, those are the key tools that opens any door, that brings forth wisdom. You just expressed about a place of peace and tranquility, and I would like you to talk about the ecotourism farm that you have created just for this, all that you've gone through. You talk about a place of peace and tranquility and intimacy and so forth. So please use this opportunity to talk about this vision that God has given you, that it will be used to mend individual hearts and relationship as well. So please go ahead and tell us about the ecotourism farm.
Where I usually hear, I'm someone who gets up at 4 in the morning most mornings, 5 the latest. And when there's peace and quiet, you can literally feel the presence of the Lord. You can hear him. He speaks. When there's no noise around you, there's no cars blowing, there's nothing, just you and the sky and the stars, the elements. There's a presence that's there, right? And in my experience with this presence, I recognize the importance of putting away. God took me away from the noise. He took me out of church. He took me out of everywhere. 3 to 4 years ago, and he lost me in a very quiet place. And there he could speak to me, and he did speak to me. I heard things, I understood things that I would hear every day. Because hearing and listening and hearing are two different things. When you're quiet, you hear. You understand me? And as a result of that, I went bird bush, because I'm a hunter. I went hunting, and I found this place, and I fell in love with it. It's up in the bushes of where we call Reach Falls. If you want to know exactly where it is, just Google Ecclesdown. 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 It's one of the bird watching paradises of Jamaica. And yes, the birds up there, the wildlife, the flora, the diversification of the flora is mind-boggling. And I went out there, and in the midst of the bird hunt, I said, but I don't want to kill these birds. I want to live here. I love this place. And I recognized that the place itself is like it spoke to me. It's like the peace that I get there. I thought it nowhere else. So I stayed over in the village. And I went back out into the bush the next day. And the place was just peaceful. The birds were there. There was nobody. I didn't feel a sense of danger. It was like heaven. Now, when you see the sky, the nights, it's like you can reach up. My daughter says she wants to reach up there and eat them, but it look like cotton candies. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It is in the hills of the Blue and Brown Mountains. So I decided to cabin. It's a way for anybody who wants to get away, which everybody needs to get away. For the hotel experience, usually people pay lots of money and they come and stay at a hotel. Now, what is at a hotel? A pool, other people, food.
Right.
But all you're doing is just moving pool, food, and sea to one spot, and you come there and spend 3 weeks there. I usually board when I go to these hotels.
Okay.
What I want to offer is an experience which when you come to a cabin, the cabin is gonna be well manicured, well put together. You're gonna be assigned a chaperone. And this chaperone will give you security of whatever you want, you'll have whenever you want it. You're in the wilderness. Whenever you want, if you want to go to, say, one of our Lime Keys, then he will take you to the Keys and take you back home. If you want to go to a dance, he'll take you to the dance and take you back home. That's where you want to go, but you must come back to that peaceful place.
Right.
You understand?
You're describing like the Garden of Eden when I hear you speak of, okay? You're one with nature and the animals and stuff. Okay, that's good.
I have planted up the place with fruit trees. I want my guests to be able to pick up pineapple from off of the tree right there, and have it. An apple off of the tree, an orange off of the tree. So anything you see that you want, it's yours.
This is definitely a Garden of Eden experience.
Right.
Okay. So when
so
would
that's
it be?
what I'm saying. What I am selling is not a place for you to sleep. It's an experience.
It's an experience.
And it's what you want. When I wake up in the morning, that chaperone will be there and you tell him what you want for breakfast and they can split it's there.
So it sounds like I don't need to bring anything with me.
No, you don't bring anything. Not even clothes. You're coming with your husband, why are you doing with clothes?
I like how you think.
Right? And if you have kids,
this is important.
Take them off of your hand.
Lorrel, please say that again, because I know that there are persons who have kids, single parents and family and stuff. So please reiterate that.
So you bring your kids with you on the vacation. And by the way, you bring your kids with you on the vacation. You would take your kid. There are people there who are nurturers. They're very good with kids. You will leave those kids because you don't need to. I see people in the hotel running up and down behind them kids trying to catch them. You don't need that stress. That stress is the same stress that you have at work and at home. You just move your home. You just move your home to the side, and you maybe have a pool at your house too. I'm saying when you come out there, you will have the confidence that your children are well taken care of. They are within a certain area with people. This is from infant but straight up. Right? The kids are taken off your hands, so you can have alone time with your significant person. So you can regroup your thoughts, emotions, come back to one with your partner. Where all these things are because is it only started. Right? No, the bigger thing is that all of this would have been paid for before you reach. So there's no money transaction, there's nothing there. You understand? It's just you come and whatever you paid for, it is all yours. So in other words, you know what your vacation looks like before you reach here. There's no surprises.
So
you understand?
So the slogan will be come for the experience. Come to Jamaica for the experience and you feel all right.
And you'll feel all right. And bigger than that, don't wear any clothes.
As I said, I like the way you think. Wow. I like the way you think. When would this be up and running? Is it ready to go? Are we looking, 2021,
Um,
the end of when would it be ready and up and ready to go?
it will be, I promise it will be ready within the next 2 months. COVID had slowed me down a bit because I
Yes.
was watching my finances and I wasn't sure the direction it was going.
Right.
What we have up there, we have the nature walk, we have the nature walk,
Mm-hmm.
we have the bird watching,
Mm-hmm.
we have the falls, which is the Reach Falls.
Mm-hmm.
The falls that's there. And it's one of the most beautiful. Imagine nature making a jacuzzi, and you see what Reach Falls. You can Google it. You can Google it. You can see the. You can see the bathtubs being made out of the rocks.
Wow.
Out of the molten rocks. You can see it.
Right.
That's Reach Falls. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place. And then there's the food.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And these guys have mastered the art of jerking, so that they can jerk anything. It's Portland you're talking about.
Right.
We can jerk anything. We can get seafood from down. So the food is another experience.
Mm-hmm.
The place itself is another experience. And you can go anywhere you want to go. That's the experience. So you're not tied to a hotel with a band around your arm and you cannot come out. Right. There's nobody there to hassle you. There's nobody to say to you, boy, you don't want this to buy. Nobody to trouble you. Mm-hmm. And when you go with a chaperone who will ensure that nobody hassles you. So you're hassle free.
Lorrel, your audience, they would like to know where they can make reservation, where they can make contact. I mean, we're talking the holidays coming up and family want to connect, or as you said, persons want to get away and rekindle. So the question that is posed in the chat room is, what is your website, or how can they reach out to you? Is there an email? Please.
Well, yes, you can give them my email and they can give them my
please,
number.
Please, no, you have an audience, so you please share your email address, how they can reach you.
Okay, let me give my number first. It's easier to reach me on WhatsApp. Would WhatsApp work?
It could, but would it be okay if we have your email address just in case?
Sure.
Yes.
It's just that my email address is tied to my workplace, and I like doing that.
All right. Well, what's comfortable for you? Because you definitely have some pre-booking here online.
Yeah, man. So I haven't set up the website because I've just touched base with my the person who's supposed to be doing all of that. I just touched base with him today.
Okay.
So I need to put some effort. I've spent a lot of my money on the preparation of the place.
Okay.
So I need to move now to the web. As I said before, COVID had slowed me down. I wasn't sure the direction that tourism was going to go.
Right.
So I had slowed down a bit. But I will give my number. It's 876. It's 876 469 3084.
Can you repeat it again, please?
Yeah, man. 876, that's the area code. 469 3084.
Okay.
And as I said, I didn't want to give out my email address because my email address is tied to my work.
And that's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine.
And so I can be found on WhatsApp. I'm on WhatsApp. So if you could go email, then you can go WhatsApp. And I promise everybody, I promise anybody who comes there a very personal and exciting experience, because I won't be very far.
Right.
Nobody's left alone. It's not like you come to Jamaica, you rent a car, and then you go off on your own. No, you're picked up from the airport. You're carried to your location, and you're pampered. You're pampered and spoiled. Right. I believe in spoiling. I believe in spoiling. I think spoiling is the most underrated function in a relationship. Any relationship, whether it be friendships, whether it be father-daughter, father-son, spouse. How can you lay down in the bed beside somebody and not spoiling them? I don't understand that one.
Wow.
I don't understand that one.
And you will be also connected with the Jamaica Tourist Board, correct?
Yes. Yes. Well, okay. I am not connected as yet, but by the time I'm ready and up, I have my arms out there. And I
Right.
will be doing my connection because I have to register and all of that.
Oh, yes,
So
yes.
as to operate as a legal entity.
You have expressed the heart of David, the passion, the purpose to live and not to die before you have completed, you've emptied the purpose that
Right.
God has put in you. And the
Yeah.
best is yet to come. The experiences that God has allowed you to go through, as you've shared, it's not for you, it's for you to give your testimony of how great God is, the eternal Father, which, your physical father wasn't there, but God's hand surely is upon your life. And I thank you so very much for coming on the Now Talk Show to express the just the heart of who you are as a distinguished
Yeah.
gentleman. And I know we'll have you back because the next time we have you back, we'll be face to face and, we'll definitely have you back to come and just talk about this Garden of Eden that you have called the eco tourism farm. And this is just such a great vision, such a
Right.
great vision. And again, thank you
Right.
so very much for coming on board. Do you have any closing remark?
Well, I just, especially in this time where we have this pandemic going on,
Yes.
we have to look back and understand the word love. First of all, you have to know what love is before you can love. So I would invite everybody to rekindle with yourself, find out what it is that you want, what you and find someone to give it to you. And the person you're with should be the one giving it to you. Shouldn't be anybody else. There's no subsidizing and padding of relationships. There's nobody on the side. There's nothing like that. Right? And your kids, give to them. And teach them how don't teach your kids to be rich. Teach your kids to be happy. Teach them how to love. And they will turn around and repay you immensely. Consider that.
Wow. Well,
Right? I thank you for having me. I really appreciate the platform, and I'll be glad to come back at any point. We can talk on anything at all.
oh, you are.
As I say, I have a passion for most things that I do. I'm very passionate. So whatever I do, I can't speak on it. It's not anything I need to rehearse or anything like that.
Right. Well, your passion was expressed today in a very warm and very strong manner. And we really, the audience and I, again, just want to say thank you again for being a part of the Now Talk Show. And the Now Talk Show is for men. It's a platform. It's a safe platform for men to express themselves, to speak of the trials that has brought them into triumph and into their now. And again, Lorrel, we thank you so very much, Mr. Meikle, for coming on board. I would like to express to the audience that the Now Talk Show is sponsored by the Alabaster Wellness Clinic, where we specialize in clinical counseling, trichology, and integrative medicine. We have a team of specialists, and together we offer complete health and wellness, even spiritual health and wellness, because it's important as well in terms of offering complete wellness. So I thank you so very much for streaming with us again. And again, thank you for your time. It's the most important thing that you can offer to anyone. And signing out from the Now Talk Show, I think we have one more. Oh, Lorrel, if you could see the comments, that these persons who you have drawn with your passion, they're inquiring. You really must come back and really be in studio, because I think your heart would just turn your heart like the rivers of water. It would just turn your heart. God bless you.
I'm just seeing the comments. I'm just looking at Nicola's link and I'm seeing the comments.
All right.
So
okay.
It's just for you to arrange it and I'll be back. It's nothing. I just say one of the most valuable things you can share with someone is your time.
Yes.
And what I like to be around loving people who love. That's me.
Right.
So I'll gladly come back.
Thank you so very much. And we're signing out to the team, the Now Talk Show team. Thank you so very much for just putting all the pieces together in order for us to have another great show. And to all the audience, I thank you again for your time and your positive comment. As I said, this is a platform for men, especially for men, to express themselves. So again, we thank Lorrel Meikle, who have expressed his truth. That's the foundation from the Word of God. God bless you and have a good evening. Thank you for joining.
God bless you and God bless you all listening. Thank you for having me.
Okay. Men, especially for men, to express